Today I'll be using this cotton nautical rope. You can find it right from the Dollar Tree, and it's about 6 feet in length. And then I also found this rainbow plaque from Dollar Tree. You do not need this plaque to create this project, but it was nice having a template to work with. I'm going to start by taking the nautical rope and just laying it on the rainbow plaque and cutting it to the length I need so that it starts at the cloud on the left and ends at the bottom of the cloud on the right. And I'm going to end up with a total of 8 pieces of rope, and I cut them all the same length. They are going to be a little bigger than I need, and they all may not be the exact same size, and that is totally fine. We will make everything even by the end of the project. So I took each strand of rope, and I'm just going to lay it on top of my rainbow plaque until the entire plaque is covered the best that I can. Now I had 6 pieces cut here, but I decided to add a few more pieces of rope to just make it a little more full and to fully cover the plaque. Scissors worked fine to cut the rope, but I do like my rotary cutter. It just works a little easier. Now I'm going to take a piece of painter's tape and I'm going to lay it across the bottom here. I do want to leave a couple inches of rope on the other end. And I'm going to take a Sharpie and just make 2 lines on both the left and right side, and then you can remove your painter's tape. Now using that painter's tape, I'm going to wrap a piece on the left side of the rope and then a piece on the right side of the rope on the line that we created. And I'm doing this to each strand. So I'm basically just using that Sharpie line that we created and placing painter's tape on both ends. Now I'm going to lay my rope across my table here, and you do want to make sure you put the longer pieces on the top if everything wasn't exact. And you want to leave a little space between each one. Now I will be painting these using some Wise Owl chalk synthesis paint. I want to just adhere these to my table with some more painter's tape just so they don't move around too much on me. I'm going to start by taping the top rope with some Wise Owl Republic Red, and then I'll do each rope after that a different color. The next color I did was Mandarina Orange, then Goldenrod, Botanical, Anchor, Black Cherry, and Raspberry Beret. I'm going to let all that rope just dry, and then I'm going to go back to my rainbow plaque, and I'm going to prime that. Now that is not necessary, but I wanted the white to peek through if I missed any spots. Once that was dry, I'm going to start with my Republic Red piece of rope, and I'm going to glue it onto my plaque. Starting at the top, I'm just using hot glue. You want to remove the painter's tape, and you do not want to glue anywhere past the painter's tape. So you're only gluing the painted area of your rope to the plaque. You want to make sure each end kind of falls next to each other so that the paint lines up nicely. Now it may not be perfect, and that's okay, we will fix it at the end. And I went through each strand of rope until my entire plaque was covered. Now I did have the 7 different colors, and then I just took a plain unpainted one as my last color to just fill in this little gap. So by the end, we had a total of 8 pieces of the cotton nautical rope. I feel you can use any colors that match your home decor. I'm going to flip it over, and I want to cut all the excess strands off, trying to make them as even as I can. My table was shaking a lot here, but I'm just taking my rotary cutter and removing the excess rope. I have some larger jute you can also find from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to wrap that around the bottom by where each color ends, and this is just going to hide if anything is uneven. And I actually took 2 strands, and I'm just hot gluing that. And you want to hot glue it pretty good because you don't want any part of it to unravel past the jute. So the colored part we don't want to unravel. And I just love the colors on this. I think this came out really cool. I'm going to flip it over and adhere the other ends of the jute to the back, so we hold everything in place. And I did the same thing to the other side as well. Flipped it back to the front, and I'm going to unravel the nautical rope up until where we glued down the jute. Really love how this turned out. You could take this idea and turn it into a St. Patrick's Day craft if you would like, but I'm going to leave as is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Paint products, tissue paper transfers, and mesh stencils can all be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can also check out other tutorials over on our webpage as well. Have a great day.